So what'd you think about the show last year?
You understand, I'm not leaving here until you have 5 starts, 5 whole shots. When folks and race fans got to see the show last year, they saw the true passion behind racing. They got to see the real grit and the real intensity that it takes to win championships and win races. It's basic. You want to be soft or you want to be tough. It's simple. Right now, you're being soft.
I felt like last year, 2009 season, we were really focused on winning the championship, doing whatever it took, you know.
We saw very clearly the opportunity to win a championship, and we began to win races like amateur days. And when Mike Alessi was going to start winning races, I think he was going to win them all that year.
Won 4 motos in a row at Hangtown in Texas, and then unfortunately broke my knee. You guys were there filming it all, coming back from the knee injury, which was big. I mean, to say the least. I mean, there's not a lot of people who can do that. You know, have an injury and then immediately back on the bike within 2 weeks. I mean, that's pretty crazy.
Mike Alessi still putting on a very valiant effort, but Josh Grant, the next rider to try to go around the 800 at Grant. Oh, and Alessi goes down! Alessi goes down!
When Josh Grant collided with Mike Alessi at Colorado, Mike's previously injured kneecap would be rebroken. His desperate attempt to stay in the championship hunt came to a gut-wrenching conclusion.
Watching Colorado was heartbreaking because I lived it. I actually, when it came on, I kind of had to force myself to watch it.
Josh Grant took him out.
Did he?
Yeah. He got hit wide open is what I saw.
Parts of it were funny, you know, with how you see emotions raised.
The universe will get him back for that. Mark my words, in 2 races, he'll get it.
But then at the same time, watching what Mike went through, him doing everything he can to try to get back, that stuff, I mean, gives me goosebumps because I was there. I lived through it with him. And then when you see what happened at Colorado, it's just like your heart just breaks all over again.
In the past, I think that the problem has been is that I was racing more than Mike Alessi was racing.
He saw himself and was like, wow, am I really, like, am I that crazy? Am I really like that? And you kind of have to be like, you know, you kind of are.
If it's going that way, go like this and make it go that way. I was the racer, and I was talking to the factories and the mechanics as if I was riding the bike. You know what I'm saying? And I think that just got a little out of control. Come on.
Yeah, I want to get one thing straight. I mean, I hired my dad to be there to help me, to push me. And I think a lot of people misunderstand that. They see him as a mean guy or a bully or someone that's pushing me around and forcing me to do this, but it's not that. It's that he's there to make sure I stay on track. And, you know, he's the best at what he does, and I wouldn't trust anybody else and to do it any better.
The European-based company KTM has been an underdog in American racing for years. They have sought to bring innovation to a sport dominated by the big 4 Japanese brands. Hoping to bring change into their own program, the Alessis have left the Suzuki powerhouse and now ride orange.
We're making adjustments. We're looking at things that we've done over the past. I mean, let's be honest, we DNF'd both seasons, outdoor and Suzuki, you know, and why'd that happen?
Every other rider in the 450 class will line up at Hangtown with a 450cc engine. But the Alessis will debut KTM's smaller 350cc engine, a concept that seems insane to most.
Everybody's asking you, oh, why are you racing the 350? That seems silly. Why are you going to go race the 450s with a 350? Why wouldn't you at least make yourself on even ground?
See, the deal with the new bike is we're riding a 350cc bike, which is 100 cc's less than anybody else is racing in the 450 class. The bike is quite a bit safer to ride than a 450. The benefit of being at every race and every moto is way more important than being a star for 2 races or 3 races and then being out with an injury.
I like that. Feels good.
You look pretty comfortable.
2 season-ending injuries in 2008 and 2009 have influenced the Alessi's decision to ride the 350. If the 350 can keep Mike out of harm's way, it'll be well worth the forfeit in power. Motocross is a sport of attrition. Staying injury-free is paramount. Last year, 4 out of the top 5 contenders were eliminated by physical ailments.
Feels like every time I go out, I'm getting a little better, a little better.
Yeah, but
I felt like I was riding good, too.
yeah, it looked like you were in your rhythm.
Yeah, it's exciting. I can't wait. Like, there's so much hype and so much build-up towards the 350 and Mark coming back to KTM. For me, it's exciting.
All right.
I just can't wait to race.
How's Mike look out there today?
Really good. Thanks for asking.
For the Alessis, preparation is not an issue. Today is an opportunity to fulfill their destiny.
Mike Alessi, his goal and his life pursuit is to win a championship.
I think as soon as he was born, they had him on a motorcycle. Alessi has been around a long, long time. There's no question about that.
So it's Grant Alessi. All right, copy.
Josh Grant and the Alessis have feuded since their days as amateurs. Their rivalry escalated last year when Josh and Mike collided, ending Mike's season.
Josh Grant. Every time I punch that guy in the face.
The Alessi family, I can't even describe it into words, but we've all dealt with their group, and it's never stopped.
Yeah, I just don't understand how JG was so much faster than everybody.
Do you agree he's going to go to 7?
Yeah, that's Josh Gransky every year. 7 left of the box. We don't really want to control him because we actually want him to go for the start and then drift outside. Because then he'll end up being like 3rd or 5th place start. Because it's going to be between me and him for the start, for sure.
A lot of people around the world are focusing in on Alessi as Alessi tries to do what many people say couldn't be done, and that is give up 100 cc's to the field.
Your bike's way faster out of the hole than his will be.
Rob, are you ready to rock and roll today?
What do you think? I'm ready. Come on, get up and make some noise, people! This is Outdoor Motocross! Chad Reed, rider number 1, grabs the whole shot. Davey Millsap, Roost, and Mike Alessi. There comes Josh Grant, the 101, the Taupo Tornado of Ben Conley. Ryan Dungey working on a bunch of back markers.
It is Chad Reed still holding on to the number 1 rod. Josh Grant stays on Alessi. He pulls up alongside of Alessi. He tries to switch down to the inside, but Alessi trying to hold off Josh Grant.
And Chad Reed is starting to inch away from this battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Josh Grant's all over the back of Mike Alessi, and they both caught Millsap. It's a 3-way battle for the number 2 spot.
There is a real fight going on, and it's right in front of you. Alessi trying to bear down on the 18. Here comes the 33. Here comes Grant. They're side by side.
Josh Grant's got around Alessi. Josh Grant makes the pass.
And here comes Chad Reed. He is taking moto number 1. Josh Grant, he finishes up into the number 2 position. He drops the hammer on him.
Now, I know you and Mike have been rivals for a long time, and there has been a lot of talk about the KTM 350. Do you think it comes down to horsepower?
Well, obviously, look what happened. When you started talking about, oh, this thing, you know, it's not all about horsepower, it's about the perfect amount of this and the perfect amount of that. We're just like, we're laughing. Like, you gotta be kidding me, right?
While a 4th place finish was respectable, the Alessis lost a demoralizing battle with their rival.
Kelly, everything okay?
However, there are 2 motos in an outdoor motocross national, providing the Alessis a second chance to prevail.
Chad Reed was what, 3 over? Was he 2 over or 3 over?
For much of his career, Mike Alessi has relied on his starting ability to give him an early advantage.
Guess who's got the whole shot, Jimmy Hawley?
Number 800, Mike Alessi.
With the smaller engine, many thought his greatest asset would be obsolete.
Remember, he's going to jump out there, but those guys are going to pull him and get into the straightaway.
I mean, if you really think about it, you gotta think about the numbers and, okay, yeah, is a 450 gonna outstart a 350? Well, of course.
You should probably get ready.
Okay, dude.
I mean, you need to be thinking about your shifting.
So for now Alessi. He has exploded off the line here. 350 cc's. Beat all the 450 cc's into turn number 1. Where is Chad Reed? He's running about 7th or 8th position, Rob.
Chad Reed is now going after Kyle Regal. Chad Reed starting to assert himself here in Moto number 2.
He's going to have to. He's running back around the number 10 position.
Brian Dungey, the Supercross champ, I'm sure he's not having the type of moto that he would have enjoyed having to kick off the season.
Dungey in 11, Grant in 12. Some pretty big names now running about mid-pack, and they've got to get onto the gas.
Mike Alessi has destroyed the field at the beginning here of Moto number 2. He's already through the Lucas Oil finish line, and these guys are 2 corners away from where he's at.
Yes!
Reed is trying to get around to Dyker. Reed lands right beside and picks up the spot from Ken to Dyker.
Reed has moved up into that number 5 position, and Metcalf is going to have his hands full.
Metcalf opening up a bunch of eyes with his 450 performance, but Chad Reed once more.
Reed goes on to the inside.
He got the pass done. He's got the pass done.
And Mike Alessi has proved a point. He has proved that 350 cc's is about all you need. Ladies and gentlemen, on a 350 cc KTM, you got to hand it to the Orange team and Mike Alessi. They have won Moto number 2.
That's awesome.
And a hug from his mechanic as they cross the finish line.
All right, Mike, there's been a lot of controversy around your bike. You are debuting the new KTM 350 today. Obviously, not lacking horsepower out there in Moto number 2.
Yeah, it was a great moto. We got the whole shot. I think we answered a lot of people's questions that if the bike can't start with the 450s, I guess that's done.
Everybody, I think, from KTM was 3 feet off the ground. I went straight up. Like, I was freaking out, jumping around. I was hugging every orange guy that I saw around us.
That was beautiful.
That makes you happy.